Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin is now downwards 17% from its all-time high, and it's heading lower as we speak, and many warning signs are flashing. Warning signs indicating there could be an even more extensive correction, bringing Bitcoin downwards another 10 or 15% that could last months. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to discuss these charts, discuss the validity of them, and discuss how to react to the situation. Let's get into it.
Guys, welcome back. There's a few things on Bitcoin we need to be a little bit concerned about, I think, or at least watching very attentively, very closely, and I don't think many people are discussing the specific things we're looking at today. Maybe some of them, but not all of them, right? Weekly chart, okay? Monthly chart, daily chart, okay? 2-week chart on the USDT.D chart, so USDT dominance chart. Very important chart. And I don't see anyone really watching this whatsoever besides, I think, Benjamin Cohen's like the only person I've seen really looking at it. This is very important, okay? And we need to discuss it. And then finally, what is a reversal going to entail? How can we reverse back to the upside of Bitcoin? How do we know when Bitcoin's going up again? Okay, so how deep will Bitcoin go? When do we know it's going back up? And what's actually happening? What do we need to look at? That's what we're looking at today. Before we do any of that, just 30 seconds here. Check out the VIP group on Telegram for altcoin trading signals, okay? If you want to trade altcoins with me on VIP, you can do that. 78.5% win rate, a transparent track record there. Go ahead and check out the PDF. Go ahead and check out the group in the description below for the information and results. We've also got BingX and BitGet. BingX is global non-KYC. You can sign up to that exchange anywhere in the world. BitGet is global minus the USA, so anywhere but the USA. Both have never been hacked. Both are very low in trading fees. Check them out with my referral links down below for even lower trading fees. And then finally, the Become a Trader 10-unit course. We're running a bull market sale. If you want to learn how to trade in an educational course, you can do so with that course there. All those links are down below. Let's get into the actual nitty-gritty right here. So Bitcoin, unfortunately, is under threat here. And I don't just say that for clickbait. I don't just say that for no reason. It actually is, because we've seen this weekly chart support level here, which is breaking. That's concerning, right? I'll speak about it in a second, but mainly this is what's happening, right? We've actually come up on Bitcoin to the all-time high. We've broken all-time highs. We've gotten above 73K. But if you look at the weekly candle, which a lot of people aren't looking at, I don't think, right? They're looking at what actually happened. Look at the weekly candle. Look where the prior all-time high in 2021 was. It was here at 68.9K. Extend that level across, and what you can see is that, yes, we did break all-time highs, but we closed right below the prior all-time high, okay, on one candle right here, and a second candle rejecting from it in a bearish doji formation, and now we are on the way down. Guys, what is this candlestick formation called? That is called an evening star candlestick formation, and it is a major sign of reversal. In fact, it's one of the more bearish candlestick formations you're going to find. So in 4 days and 20 hours, if Bitcoin closes this current candle like this, that would be a terrible sign for Bitcoin, right? Not only because it's a rejection from the prior all-time high, but because it's also a spinning top formation, which is what this candle right here is called. And these 3 candles make an evening star candlestick formation, which is a reversal pattern. On top of that, if this weekly candle closes here or below at 62K, 63K, 61K, we will also be breaking down below an ascending weekly chart RSI support line that has stemmed back from September 2023. Guys, when was September? September was back here, okay, which is the bottom over here at 24K. We have a weekly chart RSI support line stemming back from that bottom at 24K. And if we close the weekly candle where we are now, not only would we confirm a rejection from the prior all-time high, not only would we form a spinning top formation candle, not only would we form an evening star formation candle, but we would also break down from a 6-month-long RSI support line, which would send us tumbling to the downside into a more extensive correction. Now, very important note, it would not end the bull market, in my opinion, okay? And this is my opinion, but I was going to say this is my opinion, but in my opinion, this is a fact. I'll say it's my opinion, right? In my opinion, I don't think the bull market is in any proper structural damage unless we break below something like 48 or 49K. If we go to the monthly chart, I've discussed this before, I'll discuss it again. If we go to the monthly chart, for example, we can see that this 49K level is really the nearest macro support zone that we really need to be concerned about. We can even zoom out and do something like that. 49K, that's the level we need to be concerned about. And look, as I've said in previous videos, we see corrections around the prior all-time high. It's not necessarily abnormal what we're doing right now at all. In fact, it's basically the norm. If we go backwards to 2017, specifically 2017, let's actually go to a different chart because the Binance chart doesn't load it up. You can see here at 2017, we tested the all-time high level, which was over here at 1,200 for the first time back here in January, and then it took months, like literally months, and 2 separate 30% corrections before we finally got above it. A similar thing happened in 2020, not to the same extent, but it was similar. Fact of the matter is, you do see rejections at all-time highs, you do see consolidation at all-time highs, corrections at all-time highs. It's just perfectly normal, but it is something that we do need to be watching and be slightly concerned about, because there obviously is a chance that this does develop into something more significant, more major. Now, as I said, I don't think that is the case unless we go down to something like 49k, and I will particularly be getting quite concerned if we start breaking things like 53k, okay, because that's like our nearest actual proper support zone. We have one at 58.5, don't get me wrong, and we do have one at 60k, but those are really minor ones, right? The actual real levels right now are 53k and 49k. So, breaking below 53 would not be a good sign. But right now, we're still significantly above that level. It's not something we need to worry about yet. But what I'm really concerned about are these weekly candle closes. I'm also quite concerned about this weekly candle RSI level, but majorly, I'm concerned about this. And this is perhaps something that not many people are watching. If we zoom out past this RSI level that we've just broken down, what do we actually have on Bitcoin? Guys, we have an ascending channel formation. Okay, look at the weekly chart RSI right now. What is that structure? That is an ascending channel. So what happens if Bitcoin breaks below this RSI level that I'm going to make pink so you can see it? What happens if this weekly candle closes below that RSI level? We go downwards, tumbling downwards towards the bottom of the channel, and that drop is very significant. That drop could be a 10,000 USD drop or more on the price chart. That drop itself could send us downwards to 53k, 49k. So it's actually quite a poor position that Bitcoin is in right now, I'll be honest. We really need to get a strong weekly candle close here. Otherwise, we are going to be going down for a more significant correction that potentially could last literally weeks, or even a month or more. So Bitcoin's in a on very thin ice here. It's in major threat, mainly by this weekly chart. As I said, what happens if we lose this pink line? We go downwards to the bottom of this channel. That could drop us $10,000 in the price. So I think that although it's scary, and although there's a lot of things going on to be concerned about, and we need to remain, I think, calm and zoom out to an extent and look at the overall structure. Guys, as I've said over and over in videos before, I said it yesterday, I said it today, I'm saying it today again. The overall structure is very bullish. We have moved upwards on Bitcoin without correction. Okay, about 100 without proper correction. Let's go from here in January at least. Without proper correction, we moved upwards 93%. We've now seen a drop that has stemmed around 20%. We can't really be getting too fast about a 20% drop after a 93% move to the upside without correction. As I said before, we've seen 30% corrections very regularly in prior bull markets on the way up. Right now, we're not even down 20%, I'm exaggerating. We're down probably, 17, 16%. So we are actually still in a healthy position, and we will be in a healthy position for a long time. Even if we go downwards to 53k, that's still a healthy position to be in on a kind of cyclical bull market level. It's still very healthy. Even if we consolidate, we don't break all-time highs again for months, that's still a healthy position. But right now, I'm saying to you that Bitcoin is under threat on thin ice for a more extensive, longer correction. I'm not saying to you that that's a sign that you should sell everything, get the hell out of the market and run for the hills. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it is under threat for a more extensive correction. Now, what would invalidate a more extensive correction? Very simply put, if we close a weekly candle back above the 68.9k level, that would be the highest weekly candle close we've ever seen, and it would be a confirmation back to the upside. Very simple. Okay, we need a weekly candle close above 68.9k to completely clear this correction and head back to the upside. Very, very simple stuff. But right now, the weekly candle chart is probably my major concern. It's the thing I'm watching the closest. If we move forward into the monthly candle chart, we actually run into a very similar problem. But again, it's actually not abnormal at all. So we go to, for example, the highest monthly candle close we ever saw, which was back here in October 2021. And very similar to the weekly candle chart right now, we rejected from that level, right? We closed just below it. And right now, this monthly candle is fighting to hold it, right? If we close this monthly candle below that level at 61.2k, again, that would trigger a more extensive correction. Right now, we are just holding on, but we're holding on with a very bad candlestick structure currently, a very large candlestick to the upside, a wick to the upside with a small body is not a good sign. It's a sign of reversal. So we'll have to watch that monthly chart as well. But again, just to calm you down a little bit and give you a perspective, even though this position we're in right now on the monthly chart, just like the weekly chart, is not good, it's not abnormal. It's very normal. So we go backwards to 2017, and we can see, again, we found monthly chart resistance, right? 3 separate monthly candles rejected from that level before we finally got above it. And a very similar story here in 2020. Yeah, it was only 1 monthly candle level, but it was also rejected from here. And it was, we found resistance there, and we went down below it briefly on the next candle, but we got above it. The fact of the matter is, right, the monthly candle close level at all-time highs, it's a very important resistance zone. It's been battled with before. You see corrections from it historically. Same with the weekly level. It is something we need to watch very closely, because if Bitcoin closes the monthly candle below this level, that would not be indicative, again, of a bear market, but it would be indicative of a more extensive correction that could last a couple of months, right? So we need to watch these kind of things. We also move forward into daily chart RSI. We can get a very clear picture of why this rejection actually occurred, why this correction actually started. It was very clearly a rejection from this daily chart RSI level, but we discussed that yesterday, so I don't want to get too deep into it. One thing I want to look at and get slightly deep into here is the USDT.D chart, but I'm going to look into this more extensively tomorrow, okay? So watch out for that analysis tomorrow. Today, I'm just going to briefly look into it. This chart shows you in a similar way to the Bitcoin dominance chart what the dominance of USDT is in the cryptocurrency market. So right now it's at 4%, meaning that out of all the money in cryptocurrency right now, 4% of it is in USDT. And what you see is that when this USDT dominance chart goes upwards, that is indicative of people selling their assets, because when people sell, what do? They bring it into USDT, they bring it into stablecoins. When this chart is going down, that is indicative of bullish price action. People are deploying their USDT and trading it for Bitcoin, altcoins, whatever it may be. This chart is on support right now, and that's a bad sign, because when it goes upwards, as I said, that means that people are selling their coins and bringing it into USDT. The fact that it's on support right now means it's likely to bounce, and the fact that it might bounce means that it's likely the cryptocurrency market could go downwards and people could rush their money back into stable coins and deploy it later on. So that's not a good sign, but in tomorrow's video, I'm going to be looking at that much more extensively. I think it's something that deserves probably its own video, or at least half of a video, and I won't be able to do it justice today because I've covered a wide variety of topics. But overall, another thing I want to look at here is the 4-hourly chart, the 4-hourly chart on Bitcoin. If we break this 4-hourly chart level, cool, that could be indicative of a short-term move to the upside, but ultimately it's not going to mean much unless we get above the actual high, because it could just be forming an inverted cup and handle formation, which could break downwards for lower lows. So there's not really many saving graces on Bitcoin right now in short term. We really just need to focus massively on the weekly chart and on the monthly chart. I think those are the most important things right now. Where are these weekly candles going to close, and where are these monthly candles going to close? We need to zoom out here. Zoom out for two purposes. One, to understand where this correction could take us and how long and severe it could be. And two, to remind ourselves of the macro structure, which is at this point undeniably bullish. So a lot of threats are developing. That's true. And Bitcoin is on thin ice. That's also true. But it's not existential yet. This danger is not existential. It's not, destroying the bull market in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it's very, very normal. But we do need to monitor these threats so we can see how they develop and we can see how severe they become. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Just before we end the video once more, go ahead and check out the VIP group on Telegram. You can get altcoin trading signals. We've got the PDF of all of the historical trading results there. BingX and BitGet are great exchanges. I advertise them on this channel. I reached out to them for partnership. They did not reach out to me. My referral links are down below for 15% trading fee discounts. And then finally, the Crypto Academy's Become a Trader 10-unit course will teach you everything you need to know about trading and TA. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.